Am I the asshole for refusing to pick up drinks? I, 29F, am a recovering alcoholic who is in the mid-stages of becoming sober. I've been sober 1 year now, and although I am a bit better, I still avoid alcohol because I know I am not over my addiction yet. My family, being my parents, 68 male, 64F, and my older brother, 32 male, and my sister, 25 female, all wanted a get-together since the COVID restrictions in our area had been loosened. We decided to have a family barbecue, and my brother and sister got there first, and I was running late because I had to work overtime. While driving to my parents' house, my brother calls me to tell me Mom said to pick up some booze on my way since my parents didn't have enough, and I told him I am not stepping foot in a liquor store because I am still in recovery, and he goes on and on about how I need to get over myself and one drink won't hurt. I hang up and continue driving. 10 minutes later, my sister calls me and tells me I need to pick up booze because Mom said she only has 2 bottles of wine and some whiskey. I tell my sister what I told my brother and hang up. About 30 minutes later, I arrive with no booze like I said, and I open the door and my mom says, "Oh, it's so good to see you. Why didn't you pick up the drinks?" And I told her the same thing, and I tried to ignore the questions. Over an hour into dinner, they won't leave it alone, and this is where I might be the asshole. My sister told me I am being overdramatic, and "You're not a real alcoholic. Alcoholics are people who don't work and drink all day. Have a drink," in which she pours whiskey into my glass without my permission, and I slammed my hands on the table and said, "Will you fucking stop with the alcohol comments to me? I don't drink. Oh, was a day drinker. I snuck vodka in my coffee cup to drink, and I needed to stop, so no, I won't have a fucking drink. And the fact that you all think 2 bottles of wine and 2 cases of beer isn't enough for 4 people is a bigger issue than me not fucking drinking." And my sister starts to cry, and my mom tells me to leave. My mom, brother, and sister all think I am the asshole for doing that, and some of my friends think I should have been more polite about it, but I was at my wit's end. My dad at least said he understand why I did it, but IDK if I am the asshole for snapping like that at them. Not the asshole, and it sounds like your drinking buddies, I mean alcoholic family, don't want to look themselves in the mirror. Don't let them sabotage you, op. Not the asshole. Your family seems to have zero respect for your struggle. Asking you to pick up drinks was bad enough, but pouring you a drink? Wow. My suspicion is that they're functioning alcoholics themselves, and they don't like your recovery shining a light on their own issues. 2 bottles of wine and 2 cases of beer is a lot of alcohol. A bottle of wine contains about 5 standard drinks, and a case of beer contains 24. So that's a total of 58 standard drinks with everything combined. Which puts things at an average of 14.5 drinks per person. That's not, have a few drinks and have a good time, levels of alcohol. That's, get shit-faced drunk and black out, levels of alcohol. For a non-alcoholic, at least. Not the asshole. And congrats on your sobriety. Not the asshole. They were unnecessarily egging you on the entire day and not taking your addiction seriously. I understand why your sister was upset after you snapped at her, but that doesn't mean it wasn't well-deserved with the comments she was making. You not drinking probably enhanced their own insecurities that they drink too much. Hence peer pressure to fall back in line and drink with them like a normal person. Bottom line, don't listen to them and stick to the path of recovery. If that means cutting them off if they're not taking your addiction seriously, then go for it. Personally, if I had a friend that was an alcoholic, I would remove as much alcohol from the situation as I can and never ever ask them to pick up alcohol. I wish you the best of luck. Not the asshole. What the fuck? My dad is an alcoholic and we don't ask him to buy the liquor. I have addictive tendencies and don't really drink, and props to you for knowing your boundaries. They are so disrespectful to your healing process. Not the asshole. Asking an alcoholic to pick up alcohol is a serious dick move. Not the asshole at all. Recovering alcoholic myself. It's a hard enough journey as it is, and they have the gall to try and force alcohol on you and try to tell you you don't have a problem when you know you do. That's abusive control for sure. If they can't support you in trying to live a sober life, you need to seriously think about if coming into contact with them is a good idea. Maybe try and have a calm conversation with them, and if you feel comfortable, open up fully about your addiction. Many of us functioning alcoholics do it in secret, and many people in our lives never know how bad it was for us. Regardless, it's your life and your health. You are in control, and if you don't want to pick up booze, you shouldn't have to. I won't buy it either. Not the asshole. It almost sounds like they want you to relapse. I think I'd limit my contact with them in the future. Adding more as I got so angry and commented before finishing the story. What the fuck is wrong with your family? They kept egging you on about it. Your sister mocking you and saying that you weren't a true alcoholic and without permission, poured alcohol in your glass. She knew you were a recovering alcoholic and tried to make you drink anyway because she was mad that you didn't stop to buy them more alcohol when they clearly didn't need any more. Then when you finally let them have a piece of your mind, your mother made you leave. This is all toxic garbage and I'm so fucking sorry you have to deal with it. Not the asshole. I would like to commend you on your restraint. If I was recovering alcoholic and someone poured whiskey in my glass and told me to drink up, they would be wearing the whiskey. NTA, well done. Not the asshole at all. Your family are tush. Sad that they're not supportive of your decision or proud of your recovery. 1 year is a great achievement. Not the asshole. Your family is violating a clear boundary and they know it. You don't need to justify your addiction to them. You clearly stated, on multiple occasions, prior to that outburst that you weren't comfortable picking up alcohol. They pushed too hard and are now surprised when you pushed back. I wish you the best on your sobriety. Not the asshole, but your family tree sure is stocked up on them. Not the asshole. I don't think you are the only alcoholic in the family. They want to say you aren't an alcoholic because if you are and they drink more than you did, what does that make them? And a huge well done for not giving in and getting the alcohol, and an even bigger well done for not drink in the face of all the temptation and stress. You should be proud. Not the asshole, not even close. You tried to be polite. You told all 3 of them why you weren't comfortable with buying more booze, and all 3 of them ignored you. I think the most disturbing part of this whole situation is your sister pouring you a drink like nothing was wrong. Congratulations on 1 year sober. That is a huge step. I'm 13, 14 years and counting myself. Not the asshole. You know what would be more polite? Not having any alcohol on a family gathering when your own child is trying really hard to get sober. But pouring alcohol into your glass to tempt you, that behavior secures you a spot really close to the boiler room. Not the asshole. At all. That was insanely inconsiderate of them to ask a recovering alcoholic to pick up drinks and terrible of your brother to say that, 1 drink won't hurt, hell no. NTA. Pouring a recovering alcoholic a drink is like giving a suicidal person a loaded gun. Your family are enablers and don't seem to have any concept of what alcoholism or addiction really are. Not the asshole. For the sake of your sobriety, go low or no contact with your family. They place their need for alcohol above you. Instead of supporting you, they encourage you to drink. This indicates that they feel you're not drinking is a judgment on them. To stay sober, avoid bad habits and people who pour you drinks are bad people. Send them all a message that you will be stepping away from them, as their behavior is vile. Not the asshole. They are incredibly unsupportive and downright ignorant. You didn't snap the first, second or even the 3rd time they overstepped. Sorry, they are how they are. Not the asshole. Anybody who says, just 1 won't hurt, should be forced to endure exactly what, just 1, entails to an addict. Good for you for refusing to cave to their thoughtless demands. Not the asshole. First up, well done for sticking to your guns about not getting the booze, having that, just 1 drink. Huge respect for seeing you had a problem and needed to change things. You are not the asshole. Your family sadly though are. I'd suggest minimum contact for a while. I'm sorry they aren't supportive. Not the asshole. I've been sober for over a decade and wouldn't step foot in a liquor store or pick up beer at the market, etc. Distance from your family might be necessary for a while. They clearly aren't supportive and your lack of tact is understandable since they aren't listening to reason. Not the asshole. Your mom, bro and sis are. Stay away from those a-holes. Their behavior is gross, deliberately trying to tempt you, pouring whiskey into your drink. Stay away from those people. They are not good for you. You did behave politely, more politely than you should have at first. I would have turned around and gone home after the call with your bro. Big not the asshole. Not every alcoholic is unemployed, homeless, etc. There are loads of people who are functioning alcoholics who pretty much get themselves through the day and do what they need to do while drinking. It doesn't make you any less of an alcoholic, and it doesn't mean you're not struggling too if you're not functioning. I wish you could get your family to attend some Al-Anon meetings so they can learn more about how to deal with a loved one who has an addiction problem, but they sound like the type of people who would never bother taking time out of their lives for something like that. Good for you for putting your foot down, and no, you don't need to be more polite about it, because they don't respect your healthy life choices. OMG, not the asshole. Your family is so inconsiderate. My father is an alcoholic, and I would love so much for him to admit it and work on it. Not the asshole. They don't respect your recovery at all. It's not a simple process, and they are basically pushing you to relapse. Fuck 'em. They don't know the strength it takes to stay sober. You explained politely, not once, not twice, but 3 fucking times. They should act like adults and accept the answer. No means no. Not the asshole. I don't think you are the only alcoholic in your family. It sounds like you are the only one to see the problem and work on it. Good on you for staying sober and keeping your boundaries. What kind of asshole asks a recovering alcoholic to go to a liquor store? Not the asshole, and wow, you are strong. Your family are jerks, you might want to avoid them for a while. Not the asshole at all. I admire you for focusing on your recovery. I am so sorry that this happened to you. I can't imagine how difficult this must have felt. It's amazing that you kept strong, and I hope you continue your healthy journey. Heart, best of luck. In which she pours whiskey into my glass without my permission. Oh dear God, not the asshole. This part make me angry enough at your sister that I don't know how to express myself completely. You don't fuck with people's food, and you don't fuck with addicts trying to get better. This is both. I'm a recovering meth addict. It's been years, too, and this is the equivalent of being asked to pick up a meth pipe on the way over, or driving someone to their dealers. I'm disgusted on your behalf. Not the asshole. Holy crap, your family are morons. And alcoholics. I'm so sorry you had to deal with that. Have they seriously never heard of functional alcoholics? You're doing a great job, making the right choices, and I'm so glad you're standing up to them so forcefully. Might be good to continue the COVID restrictions informally, citing that they've been a good influence in more ways than one, e.g. keeping you safe from pushy alcoholics. Hug. Here is a hug from a random Redditor. They seem like they might also have a problem and aren't willing to face it. I'm so sorry that was how your meetup went after lockdown lifted. You're doing what's best for you, and that's all you can. NTA, you tolerated a lot KF bullshit before you finally shut it down. They weren't hearing you, just listening to respond. I am so sorry. First of all, you're doing a great job being sober for a year. This is the exact reason why it's important to normalize not drinking. Even if you weren't a recovering alcoholic, your family is incredibly out of line. They want alcohol, they need to get it themselves and not expect you to do so. You may need to consider putting a lot of distance between you and your toxic family if you want your sobriety to continue. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Go to an AA meeting and tell this story and ask there if you are an asshole. Friend, your alcoholism happened for a reason, and your family refuses to acknowledge your alcoholism because then they'd have to admit that their own relationships with alcohol aren't healthy either. They're actively trying to sabotage your recovery, and you need to be strong. Good luck. Not the asshole. You said no, they didn't accept it and kept pushing, they got a response. I'd steer far away from them for a while. They do not care about your recovery. Not the asshole. They are fairly heavy social drinkers, possibly alcoholics, and they don't want you getting better because it may make them have to face up to their behaviors. If they can't handle your boundaries, sometimes you have to reinforce them with cement. Not the asshole. You were fucking polite about it. They kept pushing it and pushing it. Were you just supposed to be polite about it after the 7th, 8th, 11th, 16th times as well? Not the asshole. Congrats on getting sober. Don't let your alcoholic family bring you down. Absolutely not the asshole. You tried to politely but firmly set a boundary. It's better that they know how personal and important this is to you. I'm sorry you're having to fight for them to take this seriously. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, your family is. That's so unsupportive and I'm glad you held your own in a situation like that. You should feel very proud of yourself because that was a hard test that you passed. Your family really drove you to that level. You shouldn't have had to explain it individually to each person like that. Not the asshole. I'm sorry they are so unsupportive. They should have dropped it and apologized when you said you wouldn't step foot in a liquor store. Not the asshole. Your family are threatening your hard-won sobriety. They are the asshole here, not you. You're absolutely right. The amount they had should be more than enough for 4 people. I think among many people with alcohol misuse there's a perception that it's not a problem until it moves into the alcohol abuse category, whereas actually the misuse causes problems too. Well done for your sobriety. You do what you must to protect it and stay alive. Best of luck to you X. Not the asshole. Your health, sobriety and most importantly boundaries come first. They were so out of line. I'm proud of you for standing up for yourself. Keep up the great work. Not the asshole. Not even a little. They're not respecting your boundaries or sobriety. Congrats on a year of sobriety. Not the asshole. Your family reminds me of something I heard a long time ago. What do you call someone who drinks more than you? An alcoholic. What do you call someone who drinks less than you? A prude.